Assalamu alaikum, children. So today we are moving on to the chapter phrases and clauses, right? In your Grammarland book, that is, I suppose you can remember on your first term. After the chapter objectives, the third chapter, I told you all to. I skipped 4 chapters from fourth chapter to seventh, right? So all those 4 chapters only we are redoing again. That is, the fourth is phrases and clauses. Then we have prepositional phrases, adverb phrases and clauses, and then we have the noun phrases, right? We are going to study all of these phrases now, phrases and clauses. So first of all, you all need to understand what we are going to learn in this chapter, okay? We are going to see what are phrases, right? And then the types of phrases, and then what are clauses, and then the type of clauses. So first of all, I'm going to explain you all about phrases. What is a phrase and the types? There are about 5 different types of phrases. And then we are moving on to clauses. Okay, then what are clauses, and then the different types of clauses. Before we go and see, right, and study what are phrases, first you all need to know one important, thing before we do phrases and clauses. That is subject and predicate of a sentence. You all might know a subject, right? If I ask you what is a subject, you all will say that it is the subject. Subject means at the beginning of the sentence. Subject means a person, animal, or thing, right? Subject comes at the beginning. Like that, you all would have those types of points only about subjects, right? And if I give you a sentence and say you to identify the subject, you will point out to the very first noun in the sentence, the beginning, at the beginning, noun or pronoun, right? But that is not the correct way. That is not, not the, I mean, it is correct, but the very proper way, which is suitable for identifying the subjects in all the sentences, we have another way. Okay, now at all the sentences, right, subject won't come at the beginning. If you take the passive voice sentences, the subject comes at the end, the last, right? So for those instances, you need another method to find the subject of the sentence. That method is, right, to find out the subject of a sentence, you need to ask the question who or what. Alright, this is the next way, the next method. Now see this sentence here, okay? The cat is sleeping in the sun, right? The cat is sleeping in the sun. In this sentence, just imagine you all don't know what is the subject. First of all, for that you have, what this is the first method you have to do is first recognize the verb. What is the verb in this sentence? Is sleeping. This is the verb, right? Is sleeping is the verb, right? So now we are going to ask the question. Use the question word who or what. Okay. Who plus verb. Who is sleeping? Right? Who is sleeping? You ask that question for yourself. And the answer you get. So who is sleeping here in the sentence? Who is sleeping? The cat. So the cat is the subject. You ask the question who and what. And then the answer you get, it is the subject. Right? So that is how the second way of identifying subjects in a sentence. Now let's move on to the previous one. That is, now you all know how to identify a subject. Second way of identifying subjects. Now let's see what is a predicate. A predicate means, children, except the subject in a sentence, the other part, the remaining part of the sentence is the predicate. See the first example here. The man came and went unnoticed. That is a sentence. Subject is the man. Who came and went? Suppose you ask a question there to identify the subject. Who came and went? The man. So, for that question, you get the answer the man. So, the man is the subject. So, except the subject, the remaining part of the sentence is predicate. Okay, remember. So in the second example also similar. The cat is a subject. So the remaining part is sleeping in the sun. That is predicate. Okay. I will call my mother after lunch. That is a third example. I is the subject, right? Will call my mother after lunch. That is the predicate. Other than the subject, the remaining part of the sentence. Now, some exercises would be given today for you through the WhatsApp regarding subject and predicate. Try to practice them in your grammar exercise book, okay? Now, let's move on to see what is a phrase. First thing, now we are going to move on to understand about a phrase. Phrase, right? It is a group of words that are together, read together, right? And it will make sense. Make sense mean give a meaning, right? Make sense mean give a meaning. So phrases, the main important thing is it does not have a subject. That is the important thing you need to remember. Phrases does not have a subject. So according to this point here, I have given second point, does not have a subject and a verb. But that actually in all the phrases, like there are no subject, but in some of the phrases there will be a verb, right? A verb will be there in some of the phrases, okay? But a subject won't be there in any of the phrases. If a subject is there, it won't be a phrase, okay? A phrase is a group of words that doesn't have a subject, okay? Remember that. See the first example. A brilliant football player. Now, just imagine they have given you this example, the first example, and said you to identify whether it's a phrase. So first of all, you need to see whether there is a subject. If there is a subject, it is not a phrase. So how do you find out if there is a subject? You ask the question, who plus a verb, or what plus a verb. So there is no verb here in the first example. So you can't ask the question. Similarly, there is no subject. If you can't ask the question, there is no subject. Similarly, the third example also similar. Okay, the cheerful girl. The cheerful girl. Similar, there is no verb, so no subject. You can't ask that question, right? Who or what? So no subject. See the second one. Being loved and cared. Second example, okay? In that there is a verb, okay? Being loved. That's a verb. But you ask the question now. Who is being loved? Can you say the answer for that? Who is being loved? Can you say the answer? No, you can't say the answer there. So there is no subject. Even though there is a verb, you can't. You can ask the question also there, who or what, but you can't say the answer because there is no subject. So that is a phrase, right? So these are some examples for phrases. Now that's all for today, right? Some of the exercises will be given related to subject and predicate today. So you are supposed to complete that. Okay, that's all. Thank you.